Good afternoon, guys. Brett here with Directors. Thanks for joining today's live. So today, the topic I wanted to address was somewhat first-time buyer programs, but more specifically, down payment assistance programs. And why I like to differentiate there is the down payment assistance programs are not exclusive to first-time buyers. So that's great news. So we use these a ton of times for first-time buyers, but you don't necessarily have to be a first-time buyer in order to do a down payment assistance program. So kind of to dive into, guys, I wanted to talk on some different programs, the guidelines around them. But, first and foremost, a down payment assistance program is kind of just like it sounds, saying, hey, I may not have any down payment or enough down payment for traditional loan guidelines, so I want to seek down payment assistance. So the cool part with these products, guys, a lot of clients, we can literally do zero down. Now, there are other zero down loans like a VA, but you got to be a veteran or active military. There's USDA as a zero down, but it's very exclusive to where that can be from a location specific. So what's fun about these down payment assistance programs I'm talking about is they aren't necessarily specific to a type of client, meaning a veteran. They're not specific to a type of area, meaning like a USDA or rural. So we do a lot of these. So to dive through a few of them, the first one I wanted to mention is the one we call the Home Advantage Program. Now, this one is through the Washington State Housing Finance Commission. So it'll be specific to our clients buying here in Washington State. So there is, I guess, a little bit of a geographic area, but the entire state. Now, what's cool is this can be on a condo. This can be on a townhome. This can be on a regular home. This could even be on a manufactured home. So very broad range of properties you can buy with this. Now, as far as what we need to qualify, you do not need to be a first-time buyer. Technically, you can even own a current home. Now, you do have to be buying this as your primary residence, of course, to be able to use it as a down payment assistance. Now, there is an income cap for us. I believe it's around $180,000, but that is qualifying income, not necessarily household income. So let's say potentially there's two folks that would be on a mortgage. We'd look at both income, but maybe only one of them is needed. So there's some flexibility there on guidelines. So it's pretty vague of, hey, be under that general income limit for the qualifying income, be buying a property that's my primary residence in Washington State. So again, a great product that encompasses a ton of potential buyers out there. Now, here's how the program works. There's some different options within it. Essentially, this can be on top of a regular FHA mortgage or a regular conventional mortgage. Now, we would always help advise you on what makes the most sense, but say a traditional conventional loan has a 3% down payment requirement, or an FHA loan has a 3.5% down payment. Well, in this case, that down payment assistance from the Washington State Housing Finance Commission could come in at either 3 or 4%. So if we did a 4% down payment assistance on a 3.5% down, that's more than enough to cover the down payment, plus actually a little bit of closing cost for you. So it's a really cool way to create now a 0% down loan. Now, how the down payment assistance works in this case with the Home Advantage Program is the state is lending it to you. The cool part is they're lending it to you at 0% interest with 0 monthly payments. So essentially, it's like an interest-free loan from the state or the Housing Finance Commission for that down payment. At some point down the road, when you refinance or you sell, you would pay that back. But again, a pretty cool way to borrow interest-free with 0 payments to be able to purchase a home. So that's a great product for us. Now, a couple other little caveats on that as we were helping somebody qualify. The state does have a home buyers class they like you to do. Very simple. It can be in person or online, but it's a pretty simple product to put together. We follow pretty traditional guidelines as far as what regular FHA, a regular conventional is. We're just adding in this component of down payment assistance. So as far as use cases, tons of our first-time buyers that just are in a position where, hey, things are a little bit expensive. I don't quite have enough for my down payment of 3 or 3.5%. But the other times we've used this is, let's say you do have some down payment saved up, but when you found a home, it needs some work. Well, a lot of clients go, well, I like it, but if I put X amount down, I don't really have much to do updates. Well, guys, a lot of those clients, we've done a down payment assistance so they can do 0 down, keep the cash they have on hand, use it for the updates. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. And there's not a restriction saying if you have a down, you now don't qualify. You could still do down payment assistance, keep your cash on hand for whatever that may be. So that's kind of the first product I wanted to talk about as a down payment assistance. The next one for you guys is a product we call Chenoa. Now, like the Washington State Housing Finance Commission, the Chenoa Fund is another fund that issues down payment assistance. Now, this one can be in multiple states, which is great. Again, there's different levels. I believe they have a 3% and a 5% down payment assistance. And this one's a little bit different on our income. So there's multiple levels. Now, there is one level with no income restriction, so anybody could qualify. But based on our income level, they actually have a version that is a forgivable second. So unlike the other product where you would pay it back at some point, there is one version of Chenoa where if you were to pay, I believe, 36 months, so 3 years worth of on-time mortgage payments, that second mortgage, or that down payment is completely forgiven for you. So again, a lot of cool ways to look at this for us. Again, small class that we take for you. And we verify qualifying, but I wanted to highlight that we do not need to be a first-time buyer to meet these products. Even if we have higher income, like for example, Chenoa offers a product with no income cap, which is awesome. Some of them can be forgivable, which again is another great scenario. But even if not, you can be borrowing it interest-free with no payment. So there's a lot of different ways if you feel like, hey, I might not be in that position to buy because I need so much money for down payment. Well, guys, you don't. We can do a down payment assistance for most folks. The other piece is just because we do a down payment assistance does not mean we can still not negotiate a seller credit to cover your fees. So as unique as this sounds, guys, I've had a lot of clients that we've done a down payment assistance to cover the down, and we've negotiated seller credit, especially in a market like today, to cover loan fees, closing costs, tax, insurance, and a borrower's coming with literally pretty close to $0 out of pocket. Ironically, that might be less than going to rent a place where you got to do a first month's deposit. So I think, again, I really like to encourage, there's so many ways we can help somebody get into a house. If you feel like you might not have that cash, again, I've helped borrowers literally get in less than a renter. So feel encouraged. Feel free to reach out, guys. At any point, we can run you all sorts of scenarios, talk over questions and details. But some of our favorite products to help, buyers, get in the marketplace and truly buy a home despite needing a lot of cash. So thanks again for the time, guys, and take care here.